Shalom, family, shalom. First and foremost, before we begin any lesson, we give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakak Wadash. Shout out to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shout out to the brothers out there in the highways, byways, and hedges, bidding toward the marriage before the second coming of the Messiah. Alright, so we ultimately all know what hour we're in right now. And this is the hour of temptation. So sharpen your swords, keep your sword sharp, stay in this truth. It's a daily battle, brothers and sisters. But we endure. They who endure to the end will receive a crown of life. So today's lesson, I wanted to just touch on the parable of the sower and just break it down for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. Alright. So I believe it is in Matthew 13 or 12. Yeah, Matthew 13. So basically, the Lord spoke in parables, right? He used the most simplest things of creation, like grass. He used like trees, right, to explain the kingdom of heaven. And only few will receive the mystery and understand it, right? So he used parables to get his point across. Okay, so specifically the parable of the sower really just talks about people that hear the word, that just coming to this truth. They hear the word, and it sounds wonderful, right? To find out who they are, being a part of the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, right? The chosen people of the Lord. And it's wonderful when you first hear it, find out who you are. Dress code, what we eat, our holy days, right? And just really acknowledging the fact that we come from the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Jacob. And so a lot of them, when they hear this truth, it sounds sweet at the beginning, but then they come to find out further on, that there is Salakia, bear with me. There is trials and tribulations, right? And we have to go through some tribulation and some trials to get to the kingdom, and that's why it says they who take the narrow path will find life, right? The majority of people will go down the wide gate because of the cares of this world. They're not willing to let go of the things of this world. So it's all sweet when they first come into this truth, find out, that we're the chosen people, but then they end up figuring out that it's not going to be easy getting to the end, getting to the finish line, right? So Matthew 13, verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. So the seed is the word, right? And then, sowing the word. That's what it's talking about. And when he sowed, Some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Read that again. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had not root, they withered away. And some fell upon thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground, and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who had ears to hear, let him hear. Now, for the following through, going to verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing, see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. Verse 15, for this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. Right, and then he further goes on to explain it more in depth. Verse 19, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. Right, so they just pretty much, it's talking about, like, for an example, when they hear the word, right, but then they don't take it in, right? They just, like I said, their ears are dull of hearing. So they don't really take thought on it, or take it in, and properly receive it and understand it, right? Because first we must fear the Lord in order to gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Proverbs 19, verse 20, but he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth. You see, so this further goes on to speak about people that do receive it, and they're filled with joy when they hear the word, right? Because of the sweet things of this truth. But all this truth is not all sweet. There is a sweet and there's a bitter. Because the Lord He's about balance, right? Verse 21, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Yeah, that's right. Because of, they come to realize that it's not gonna be easy taking the narrow path. They gotta let go of a lot of things, right? And that's why the Lord further on speaks about another parable in this chapter in regards to a rich man, he goes on to explain how the kingdom of heaven is like it's a rich man that sold all his things for a field, right? To buy it, because of the treasure that was hidden in that field. And a lot of people, especially rich people, they'll find it really difficult to do that, to let go of all the things of this world, to live day to day, daily bread, have faith, patience, and endurance because of the cares of this world, right? So again, It's easier for a camel to enter into the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. It's not impossible, but it'll be really difficult. So, if be content with the very little that you have. If you're in a position of hearing this truth and this word, because not all is what it seems. Especially the material things of this world, the material riches. That's not something that we ought to be chasing in this time, right? Because it's all going to come to naught. Verse 21, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. That's like, because they don't want to let go of the things of this world, right? They don't want to let go of what they've been taught and programmed to believe, to follow, culture, diet, dress code, obedience. Is love. With love comes obedience. First John 5:4. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous. So we've got to uphold the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, right? That's what we got to do first and foremost, and then call upon the name of the only begotten Son and the Father, right? Got to come to understand all this, have patience, endurance in this truth. Verse 22. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. So, that's basically saying that they care more of the things of this world than this truth, and in this, rather to hear this word and to follow it, and to hearken diligently unto the Lord, and to seek Him with all their heart and all their soul. Right? There's no straddling the fence when you come into this truth, right? It's either you're in it or you're not. You gotta be willing to let go of all the things of this world in order to enter in to the kingdom, man. To go down the narrow path. And it's like I think it's in Second Ezra, just roughly paraphrasing. You know, it's like the path is likened into a water. It's likened into a deep water on one side and a flame on the other, right? And it's also talking about the two judgments. So the first was by water, and the second is going to be by fire. Verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But when men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. So he further goes on to speak about the parable of the wheat and tares. And the wheat represents the children of the Lord, and the tares represent the children of the wicked one. Alright, so again, people hear this truth, they get excited, but then they come to find out that that they're gonna have to go through some shit, for lack of better words. Excuse my language, but that's just straight up. It's not gonna become easy, but nothing worth having comes easy, right? So by and by, you gotta endure to the end, people. Forget the cares of this world, man, because it's about to come down. The earth will abide forever. The Lord's creation will abide forever. His creation, right? But everything else is not gonna last. It's not gonna stand the judgment and destruction that's coming from the Most High. Right, so be content with, even if you have the bare minimum, be content with what you have, even if it's not much. That's okay. You ought to be in a position where you can receive this truth and understand it then in a position where you have abundance of the riches of this world, of the material things of this world, that ultimately you become unfruitful spiritually when you live according to the flesh and not seeking the spiritual fruits, with the Lord's will, right? His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Galatians 5:16. Walk in the spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And it's not easy. Right? It's an everyday battle. The flesh is contrary one to the other, the flesh and the spirit. Because the flesh is constantly, the spirit is constantly battling against the flesh. Because we want to do things that this flesh wants us to do, but that's the battle. It's spiritual, right? Like Ephesians, hold that, and we'll go to Ephesians. We'll go to Ephesians after we've done here. Again, we're going to read one more parable. Again, do you see? Verse 45, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. So, this could be a rich man, for example, who when he had found one pearl of great price, he went and sold all that he had and bought it. So he sold all that he had just to buy this one pearl. Right, and that's likened into the kingdom of heaven, right? It's not going to be easy, but ultimately, man, what's coming, what the Lord has in store for us is far beyond anything that this world can offer us right now. Okay, so just remember that. Verse 49, so shall it be at the end of the world, the angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just. Okay, so now we'll just go to Ephesians. Ephesians quickly. Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6 and 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah, so this is the context of this is basically referring to spiritual wickedness, because we get a lot of spirits that come up to you, when you're preaching this truth, when you're teaching this truth, and it's a battle that we go through when we're trying to address this truth, right? Address the word of the Most High, because people are trying to come at you, different spirits from all different directions, all different angles, right? But this word is sharper than any two-edged sword. Roughly paraphrasing Hebrews 12. We'll go there after this. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. So this is a sword, right? It's a spiritual sword that we use. You gotta know how to wield it. You gotta know how to swing it, right? When people try and come at you. Galatians 5 and 16 is what I was wanting to get at. For the spirit and the flesh are contrary one to the other. Galatians 5 verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Verse 17, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Right? So you cannot do the things that you would, even though this flesh, we go through temptations, man, all the time, whether that be with food, whether that be with self-indulgence, whether that be with, just the things of this world, which is majority of things of this world is carnal, right? And so we have to battle that with the Spirit, man, and the Spirit is the word of the Lord. And fasting, that's why fasting is good, family. It's good to fast, so that it rids of the flesh, being indulgent into the things of this world. It rids of that. It rids of the the want of fleshly things, right? Hebrews 12. So I'm just bouncing around the book through the Spirit. Hebrews 12. Sorry, Salakia. Hebrews 8. Hebrews 4. Salakia, forgive me for that. I haven't even been getting much sleep lately, to be honest. Just a lot of things on the mind. But, it's all kingdom work, right? Sometimes I just want to, I just don't want to stop, but we have to have a balance while we're still here, and maintain. But nevertheless, teaching to the best of our ability. Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. That's right, the word of the Lord is pure. It's His word. His word is the most powerfulest thing. Is the most powerfulest thing, right? That's His word. Okay. So endure to the end, family. They that in this truth, that hear, that have eyes to see, that have ears to hear. Endure, family. Yeah. May the Most High be with you. We give all praise, honor, and glory due to the Most High Power, whose name is Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Bahashima Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to the brothers out there in the highways and the byways that are pushing this truth, that are presenting themselves a living sacrifice, and that are bidding toward the marriage. Shalom to you, brothers, even the solos, even the ones that are out there doing it, that are standing out there. Some have I read it, some don't. There's much blessings to you, and pray that the Most High, wakes up our people as he is, and as he will, to receive this truth, because we don't labor in vain when we're out there. We do it, and we do it wholeheartedly, right? And this is the love that we show. That gets sometimes people don't receive it in that sense because, they're being so programmed in this world. But ultimately, you know, that's love our brothers have when they're out there and they're building toward the marriage, trying to draw in the lost sheep in the house of Israel, right, so that we can get up out of here and let the kingdom come. I want to just finish this off by going to Matthew 7. Sorry, Matthew 6. Matthew 6 and 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.